What we've got here is what we call the interactive throwing sleeve. It's got a sensor on my wrist to measure that motion, and one on my elbow to measure that motion. So we can use this for things like throwing to look at technique. So not only can we look at technique, we can start to put sounds on that technique to reinforce aspects of technique, and then we can use that in studies or to train people where you go in and you rapidly do repeat throws, and it makes it more challenging by having to say get the ball in the ring and make the noises. So on the computer screen here we can start a throw, right, and so in 3 seconds did I get the ball in or not? So let's say I missed completely and then we go again. Okay, so let's say I got that one in. Well, give me a 5 for that one. So that's basically what we do. So we've been studying that with the top-end netballers in Australia, and we've looked at their technique and we've tried to take the key aspects of that and to bring it back for kids in schools. So we've taken this into the schools, and about 20 kids we were looking at, can they learn that across the course of a week. So basically, this person can come and show them, they're left with the sounds of that, and they can move on and show the next person, so they can have a more meaningful training session. And we've shown that that actually builds more robust technique and helps them to learn faster. So basically we're stretching it, and that's what we're sensing. So when I flex like that, this stretches and there's a little filament in there that moves, and it measures how long a piece of string is, basically, or literally. And this little electronics unit here measures that string length because it changes its resistance. So then we beam that into the computer, it makes the red and white graphs on screen, and that in turn triggers the sounds to play. So we can choose whatever sounds we like. In this case we've used a beat, so the object is to try and complete that drum beat. Boom, ch, ch, ch.
You got it! Well done!
The original air guitar, which has sensor this elbow, sensor this elbow, running through the shirt, a little transmitter going into the computer to control sounds, and we'll make one go. Right. We've got the throwing sleeve from that, where we take that sensor, stick it on the wrist, and we'd move this to there. And then that'd be our throwing sleeve, which we've done a lot of work with netball and some of our athletics people that went to the Olympics. And all that was about technique and using sound, like what you just heard, to give them some feedback on their performance. Was it good or bad? Sometimes we ask them to make the sound, sometimes we tell them not to make the sound. So their job is just to do their sport and subtly change what they do. But when we take it into kids, so we'll sit them down and we'll be trying to get them to do a specific technique, and we'll make the sound go like boom there and k there. So if they get the boom k, they've done the sound part right, but they've still got to get the ball through the hoop. So at that point they've got to do both, which makes it a much harder task, and it encourages them to explore their technique more. Yeah, so if we want to do it in swimming, we need a waterproof one of those, and some guys up at Griffith Uni have done that, and we need a waterproof one of these. So I've played around with making ones out of wetsuit so that you can fully encapsulate it. So in swimming it's all about protecting it from chlorine. I did chemical engineering at uni, which is kind of a bit of cooking and a bit of plumbing and a little bit of analysing things. So I went into paper making, and then I went into packaging and putting electronics into packaging, and then I saw some work that was done like this, and I wanted to be part of that. So I was able to join that team, and from there I've been able to create these new technologies. And I'm interested in music, so it was pretty obvious. We use that sensor, we start controlling things in music. So we're now going the other way. Instead of using just using the controllers to control music, we're now using the music to help people learn. So the music has an important part to play in that. So when you hear sounds, they will affect different parts of your brain in different ways. So we're trying to understand that and use that to advance human performance. where to from here? Well, I'm interested in innovation. I want to see some of this stuff become more available. So that's about understanding value and understanding supply and putting that together in meaningful ways. So we're doing that. What we've got here is effectively one of these, which is a wah-wah pedal. Plugs into the back of your effects unit, controls and effects. So in this case I've chosen the wah. And we're using my elbow to essentially do that pedal motion. So like your foot going like that, is my arm going like that. So we're going to use gesture to control the guitar effect. So you can imagine. So it's going to drive me to do more